Hello, everybody. So we're going to start our study of chapter 13 today. Our first lesson is perimeter. And our essential question is, how can you use a formula to find the perimeter of a rectangle? How can you use a formula to find the perimeter of a rectangle? We're on page 525 of your textbook. So let's go ahead and get started. Julio is putting a stone border around his rectangular garden. The length of the garden is 7 feet. The width of the garden is 5 feet. How many feet of stone border does Julio need? And it's telling us that perimeter is the distance around a shape. To find how many feet of stone border Julio needs, find the perimeter of the garden. And in the purple box, our clue box, it says circle the numbers you will use. Well, we know the length of the garden is 7 feet, and we know the width of the garden is 5 feet. What are we asked to find? How many feet of stone Julio needs? So, to find perimeter, we can add. And perimeter of a rectangle is the length plus the width plus length plus width. So remember, on a rectangle, we're going to have two sides that have the same measurements. And we also have the other two sides that will have the same measurements. Okay, so in this case, 7 plus 5 is 12. 7 plus 5 is 12. And 12 and 12 is 24. So the perimeter of his garden is 24 feet. And that's how many feet of stone he needs, 24 feet. Well, we could also use multiplication because two pairs of the sides are the same, right? So we could say 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So in this example here, we could have 2 times 12 because there's two 12s. And we could also have 2 times 8 because there's two 8s. And then add them together rather than going 12 plus 8 plus 12 plus 8. Either way is right, okay? So 2 times 12 is 24. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 and 24. Well, 6 plus 4 is 10. Regroup that as 110 and 0 ones. 2 plus 110 is 3 tens, plus the regroup 10 is 4 tens. So 40. So the perimeter of that rectangle is 40 centimeters. Well, what about if we have a square? Well, you could go 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, but why would you want to do that? All the sides are the same. So if all the sides are the same, just multiply by 4. So the perimeter of a square is 4 times s, or 4 times the measurement of the sides. Okay, so 4 times 16. 4 sets of 6 ones is 24 ones. Regroup that as 2 tens and 4 ones. 4 sets of 110 is 4 tens, plus 2 more tens is 6 tens. So 64. Okay. All right. So 526. A formula is a mathematical rule. You can use a formula to find perimeter. So the formula for perimeter of a rectangle is P, which stands for perimeter, equals 2 times the length, where L is the length, 2 because opposite sides are the same, plus 2 times W, where W is the width. Okay. All right, so find the perimeter of the rectangle. Our length is 14 and our width is 18. Oh, sorry, I said that backwards. Okay, longer side is 18, the width is 14. Okay, so 2 times 18 plus 2 times 14. Okay, why did we do 2 times 18? Because this side up here is also 18 meters. Why did we say 2 times 14? Because the opposite side from 14 in a rectangle is also 14 meters. Okay, so 2 times 18. Well, you could go 18 plus 18 or use multiplication. 2 times 18. 2 times 8 is 16 ones. Regroup that, we get 3 tens. So 2 times 18, 36. 2 times 14. 2 times 4 is 8 ones. 2 times 1 10 is 2 tens. So 36 plus 28. 8 and 6 more is 14. Regroup the 1 as 1 10 and 4 ones. We get 3 plus 2 is 5 tens plus the regroup 10, 6. So 64. The perimeter of the rectangle is 64 meters. You do have to put the unit on here. Okay. Okay, our next question is, can you use the distributive property to write the formula P equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width in another way and explain? Yes, you can. So I can use the distributive property. I can use the distributive property to write P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W as 2 times the sum of the length and the width. All right, so 2 times the sum of the length and width is the same as 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, so what does that all mean, right? A lot of words, right? I can use the distributive property to write this formula, P equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, as 2 times the sum of the length and width. So if I added, let's go back to our example here. If I added 18 and 14, I would get 32. If I doubled it, it would be 64. Okay, so we can write it 2 different ways. We could add up the 2 sides and then multiply by 2. We could multiply the length by 2 and the width by 2 and then add them together. Or I could add all 4 sides. Right, write a formula for the perimeter of a square. Well, what letter will we use for perimeter? P is the accepted letter. What letter can we use for the length of a side? Well, let's use S. So what's the formula? P, perimeter, equals, how many sides are in a square? 4. 4 times S. You might also see it written as this. Okay, when a letter is right next to a number, that means multiply. It could also be written with a dot. Okay, so all three of these mean the same thing. It means 4 times the length of the side. All right, number 2, justify the formula you wrote for the perimeter of a square. Well, square has 4 equal sides. So if I added side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3 plus side 4, it would be the same as 4 times the length of the sides. All right, 527. So find the perimeter of the rectangle. All right, so we have a length of 8 and a width of 4. So we're going to go 2. We got to start with the formula. 2 times L plus 2 times W. And then fill in our length and our width. So it's 2 times 8 plus 2 times 4. What happens if you get these numbers in the wrong order? Will it change your answer? It won't. Okay, because we're multiplying both of them by 2. So does it really matter if I put 2 times 4 first or if I put 2 times 8? Technically, no. You're still going to get the right perimeter. Okay, so 2 times 8, 16. 2 times 4, 8. 16 plus 8 is 24. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 24. If I rewrote it as 2 times length, 2 times the sum of the length and the width, I would have 2 times 8 plus 4. P equals 2 times 12. So I still get 24, right? If I added them all up, I go 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. 20 plus 4 is 24. Find the perimeter of the rectangle or square. All right, this is a rectangle. It's not a square. All the sides are not equal. So my formula would be 2 times length plus 2 times width, or P equals 2 times the length plus the width. P equals 2 times 16 plus 2 times 4. 16 plus 16, or 16 times 2, is 32. Okay. 2 times 6 is 12. Regroup that as 1 10 and 2 1s. 2 times 1 is 2, plus the regroup 10, 32. 2 times 4 is 8. 32 plus 8 is 40 yards. If I used this formula, it would have been 2 times 16 plus 4. P would equal 2 times 20. P equals 40. So either way. All right, number 3. This is a rectangle. So this time I think I'm going to use P equals 2 times the length plus the width. So if we said P equals 2 times 110 plus 42. 110 plus 42. What's 42 plus 10? 52. So 152. All right, now multiply 152 by 2. 304 meters. All right, number 4 is a square. All the sides are equal. So we're going to say P equals 4 times S. If you could see it, 4 times S. So P equals 4 times 4. So 16 meters. Number 5. Find the perimeter of the rectangle or square. Find the perimeter of the rectangle or square. Same thing we've been doing, right? So let's go ahead and go 2 times length plus 2 times width. If you want to use the perimeter equals 2 times the sum of length plus the width, it's the same thing. Okay. 2 times 34 plus 2 times 20. 2 sets of 34. That's 68. 2 sets of 20 is 40. So what is 68 plus 40? It would be 108. So the perimeter of number 5 is 108 inches. Number 6 is a rhombus. All 4 sides are equal. Okay. It does have 4 right angles, so it's also a square. So P equals 4 times S. P equals 4 times 116. 116 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. We'll regroup that as 2 tens and 4 ones. 4 times 1 is 4 tens, plus the 2 regrouped tens gives us 6 tens. And 4 times 100 is 400. So you would need 464 feet to go around that square. And number 7. All right. P equals 2 times the length plus the width. Okay, I want you to get where you can do either of those perimeter formulas, either written as 2 times L plus 2 times W, or using the distributive property as 2 times the length plus the width. Okay. So 42 plus 21. So we get 2 plus 1 is 3 ones. 4 tens plus 2 tens is 63 times 2. 63 times 2 is 126 meters. All right, number 8. Robert wants to put lights around the edge of his yard. So when you see something like edge, that's a border. A border means perimeter. The yard is 40 feet long, 25 feet wide. So it's often helpful to draw a picture of what they're referring to. So we're going to use 40 feet long, 25 feet wide. So the perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So 2 times the length is 40. 2 times 40 plus 2 times 25, the width. So P equals 80 plus 50. 40 and 40 is 80. 25 and 25 is 50. All right, so the perimeter is 130. 8 plus 5 is 13. So 13 tens, 130. So we need 130 feet of lights. Abbreviation for feet is FT. Number 9. What is the side length of a square with a perimeter of 60 meters? Okay, well, this is kind of different, right? So we know that 4 times S equals the perimeter. Well, here they told me the perimeter. So it's asking us 4 times what is S? Well, what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So I can rewrite this as 60 divided by 4 will equal the length of one of the sides. Okay. So can I share 6 tens with 4 groups? Yes, 1 time each. Bring down the 0, get 20. We have 21s with 4 groups. That's 5 into each group. So the side length equals 15 meters. Number 10. Alejandra plans to sew fringe on a scarf. The scarf is shaped like a rectangle. The length of the scarf is 48 inches. The width is 1/2 the length. How much fringe does Alejandra need? A. Let's draw a picture of the scarf and label the given measurements on your drawing. Okay, good idea. It says that the scarf is rectangular shaped and the length is 48. And then it said the width is 1/2. The width is 1/2 the length. So what's half of 48? 48 divided by 2. All right, so how many is 4? So 24. All right, so those are our measurements. What do we need to find? We need to find how much fringe she needs. Show the steps you use to solve the problem. Well, okay, so P equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Perimeter would equal 2 times 48 plus 2 times 24. 2 times 48. 48 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Regroup that as 110 and 6 ones. 2 sets of 4 tens is 8 plus the regroup 10, 96. 2 sets of 24. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. All right, and now we're going to add those together. 96 plus 48. She needs 144 inches of fringe. All right, so what for? Oh, P equals 2 times length plus 2 times width is the formula we used. The length of the scarf is 48 inches. The width is 1/2 the length. We did 48 divide by 2 to give us 24. So the perimeter is 2 times 48 plus 2 times 24, which gave us 144 inches. And number 11. Marcia will make a frame for her picture. The picture frame will be 3 times as long as it is wide. The width of the frame will be 5 inches. How much wood does Marcia need for the frame? Okay, so the width is 5. I'm going to write that. I'm going to say W equals 5. The length, it will be 3 times as long as it is wide. So the length equals 3 times the width. Okay, so what is the width? The width is 5. So L equals 3 times 5. The length is 15 inches. Okay, so P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. 2 times the length, 15, plus 2 times the width, 5. 2 times 15 is 30. 15 plus 15 is 30. 2 times 5 is 10. So we need 40 inches of wood. And number 12. Maya is building a sandbox that is 36 inches wide. The length is 4 times the width. What is the perimeter of the sandbox? Show your work. So 36 width, and the length is 4 times. So the length equals 4 times the width. So the length is 4 times 36. What is 4 times 36? 4 times 6 is 24. Regroup the two tens. 4 times 3 tens is 12 tens, plus 2 more is 14. So 144 inches is the length. Okay, so we can use perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. 2 times the length, 144, plus 2 times the width, 36. 144 times 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 200. So 288 plus 2 times 36, 72. Okay, so now we're just going to add 288 and 72. 8 and 2 is 10. Regroup that as 110 and 0 ones. 7 and 1 is 8. 8 and 8 is 16. Regroup that as 100 and 6 tens. 2 plus 1, 3. So 360 inches. So that's all there is to perimeter. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or 2 times the sum of the length plus the width, or length plus width plus length plus width. Okay, basically, keep in mind, perimeter means the distance around the outside. All right, so the next time we meet, we'll be talking about lesson 13.2, which will cover area. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.